I'm gonna try to do this with the garage door open, get more light so you can, well, not see me better, but see better. More light isn't, well, it ain't gonna improve this, but at least you can maybe see better. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to do this. Uh, this is a health update because I feel I need to explain why I'm even doing this because this is just not my normal wheelhouse. Um, I am doing something I do want to do. Don't get me wrong. I do want to try this. I do want to experiment. I do want to go down this journey, down this road, see what happens. I don't expect a whole lot, especially getting this late in the game when it seems like the game's coming to an end. Really not the best time to come in so green. I don't have a production crew or even a friend. So there's nothing else to it. Um, I was scheduled to get another MRI on my neck on the 20th. That's not happening now. I got a letter yesterday. I put up a rant where the insurance is denying it. They want me to do physical therapy first. Like that hasn't been done before. So they're denying my MRI again. So they have it denied on my lower back and on my upper back, my neck. Sorry. For some reason, the neck is different. It's all your spine. When I say I've had my back worked on, I mean my spine. So anyway, they put in there that their doctors reviewed what was submitted and their doctors have decided that I need physical therapy. I referred to 110 pages before, but that was to my lower back. This is my neck. So it's a little different. It actually comes with x-rays that show the hardware that's in there. Last year's MRI clocked several spots that are bulging discs on the last MRI. That was almost 2 years ago now, at least a year and a half, I think. It's not recent, that's for sure. Not recent, maybe just it. It's not current. That's why we wanted a new one because I can't type. I Most of the stuff I have to put on screen or in the captions, all of that stuff, most of that stuff I have to do voice to text first and then fix whatever it gets wrong. Because if I type it all out, my hands will start hurting to the point where I can't do anything the rest of the day. Just last week it was so bad. It was bad. We'll just leave it at that. I have it's in my avatars. I put it up on screen before. I've used it in a different posts. I have x-rays of my neck. Those blue x-rays, that is my actual neck after the first surgery. There are newer x-rays that show the second fusion that was done on top on those x-rays. And if you actually can read the MRIs, you can see where the MRI gets all screwy from hitting the hardware in my neck when you look at the MRIs. But I never wanted to know how to read an MRI. Now I do. I shouldn't need to know how to read an MRI. But apparently they need people that can read MRIs and can look at x-rays, because if you looked at any of the procedures that have happened up to this point about any of this, you would know that even if physical therapy is the answer, let's go with that physical therapy is the answer. You don't know what's going on in here right now. You do know I already have a genetic defect and a birth defect happening in the area. At least you would know that if you read the records that you said you read and came to this decision on. So if you read those records, you would know that those two things are there, and that is what's causing this. I didn't turn my head too hard, or I don't know, head banged a little too much that weekend and pulled a muscle, or whatever you think happened. That this is falling apart no matter what I do. Time is what's doing it, not how I turn my head. But you would want that MRI so you could look in there and see, oh, is that disc a little closer to the nerve than safe? Why, yes, it is. Maybe we should work on that before we get him twisting his head and pulling things and moving in different directions before we actually know if it's safe to do so. We already know twice it was not safe to do so because the MRIs showed the neck needed work, not physical therapy. The lower back was the same thing. Is the same thing. And if you looked at the results of last year's MRI, you would have been able to note that there were already two bulging disc areas that were close to surgical already. And in those same notes, you would have been able to review and look that has not improved because the injections that were performed after that, per your requirement, no, wait, I take that back, per doctor's requirement, the surgeon wanted to see what the injections would do to confirm his suspicion on where surgery probably needs to happen. Now, I just explained that in less than 110 pages, but I imagine you could probably figure that out somewhere in that 110 pages that was sent over to them to review by their doctors. So they took their care in reviewing all of that and said, yes, after all the things that you have gone through over the last 2 years trying to isolate and figure out where the bad spot in your back is, we have come to the decision that maybe physical therapy would be a better choice for you. The last time I got stonewalled with crap like this, I almost ended up paralyzed and peeing in a bag because of their stubbornness. I got lucky because I had a really good neurosurgeon and he was local, able to just get stuff done faster because it was a smaller town. And when he got the last MRI he wanted, which, by the way, physical therapy was also what they wanted me to do then too, but I told them I couldn't stand long enough to do it. So they reluctantly gave him permission to do the MRI. And what that MRI found out that is if they left me alone any longer, I could end up paralyzed and I could end up losing my bodily functions would be cut off. That was so much airplane. Yep. Well, that's what you get. We get an airplane in the background. Yay. Background music. Free of charge. So when the MRIs got back, I got a message on my phone that he got the MRIs. I was like, okay, cool. So he'll review that and I'll hear back from him in a few days. and we'll just see what happens then. No, he called me back that same day and he said, if possible, I'm going to have you in for surgery this Friday. It was Wednesday. Now, the surgery isn't a small surgery. You have to have a vascular surgeon on, not on call, on site, standing next to you. So if something goes wrong, he can be there to help you fix it. That's how big of a deal this is. They cut you front and back at the base and go in and replace it. It's not a small deal. But the reason why it took so long for me to get in is because I needed to have recovery time in the hospital. And the hospital said, no, we need those beds for people who get colds. Now, we were already pretty far past the worst part of that. This was the last of the last of the last. We're reserving beds for sick people that aren't coming. It's not that the beds were full, they just had to be open just in case. But the trend was showing that that just in case was not happening. And we're talking 3 days, one bed, and they wouldn't do it until it came down to that last MRI that, again, was another scan that wasn't going to tell them, that was going to confirm them that I am wrong. Actually did the opposite and confirmed that I was right. Something is wrong and it's bad. Because when the neurosurgeon called me back and told me that he was getting me in that fast, he said, it's bad. You don't have months to wait. I don't even. I hope you can last a week if we have to wait a week. And this is an operation that the hospital had been putting off for 5 months because of their reserve bed policy. Now, I can't say that if I got in for surgery 5 months earlier, I wouldn't have nerve damage right now, permanent nerve damage. We'll never know. But I know I do have permanent nerve damage now. And the reason I can walk and use the bathroom on my own is because of an MRI that someone else thought was unnecessary. So, yes, to now have 2 MRIs denied and being told, we care about your health. We think the best source for you to get this stuff done is to go through the physical therapy offices and see what they can stretch out of you or lift or whatever. And what do they do? They're not doing anything illegal. It's by the book, it's check marks. Except we all know they didn't review any paperwork at all. They just looked at their check mark and said, oh, he hasn't done physical therapy in a while, so he's got to do that first before we do anything else. Push it on down the line because they're all the same. Why read the paperwork that's with it? Or even claim you never got paperwork with it at all. That was a nice one too, because that one was 110 pages that they didn't get. And I know one office manager that's pretty pissed that that's what they put down, that they did not get that stuff. I'm not going to say someone's being untruthful in this situation, but I know it smells funny. We know what it is. But what do? I haven't been able to have a day without pain in 4 years. There's moments where there is no pain at all, and it feels unreal, where suddenly it all just clears up and you can feel yourself. Bentley. I don't think you'll ever see him, but it feels foreign when the pain is gone and walking and going. And let's put quotations around gone. Let's call it more far less extreme because my toes don't suddenly feel like they exist again. They still feel like they're not there. Oh, they are there. They're functioning. They're right there. I can touch them. I can wiggle them. I can do whatever is necessary. But as far as my body's concerned, they're numb. They're not there. It feels like it feels like they're not there. Don't worry about it. But those moments where the pain is gone ish, and I can walk normally, and the only thing I have to think about is whatever I'm thinking about. I don't have to worry about how I'm stepping or where I'm stepping or how or where I'm at. Maybe I can't get home. It feels foreign now. I don't know what to do with it. And I used to get excited about it when it did happen because I thought, "Ooh, maybe I could get something done today," or maybe it is getting better. But no, no. These moments are really moments. I don't think I could put a clock on them and have it be any meaningful time. Probably if I timed it, I would probably be, um, well, probably depressed on how short of a time it actually is. We're probably talking minutes. We're not talking hours or days. We're talking minutes. Minutes at a time where suddenly everything kind of feels okay. And I don't know what it is in the system that does it because it comes right back. There's it comes right back. It comes back with a vengeance. It hits those nerves. And I'm telling you, it's not what I'm doing because it can happen without me moving. I assume moving meaningful. Micro adjustments or whatever is enough to hit it and drop me at times. But that needs physical therapy first, right? I'm going to do it. I'm following the rules. I don't have a choice. So I've got to go to physical therapy first. So they're going to put off any actual improvement to my well being for probably another year. So add on however long it was going to take from this point to actually get surgery, add another 12 months to it because now I've got to do 6 weeks of physical therapy separately for my lower back, then for my neck, because you can't do them at the same time because they're not going to pay for that. They haven't said that yet. I'm just predicting the future. You know, it makes it hard to plan for anything. I can't get a job. I'm unreliable. The pain from day to day, from hour to hour, can be unpredictable. There can be days where I can't move at all. Like this morning, I woke up, and of course, my neck's not. Physical therapy is all I need. I woke up this morning, both of my arms are numb. I couldn't feel them. It didn't matter which way I fell asleep. I wake up and they are numb from the shoulders down to my fingers. I can separate my hands. I can draw the nerve channels on the outside from where the pain is shooting up. But I'm sure that's physical therapy. Yeah, if I figure out how to do any of this, I'll put on the screen exactly what I can find of the scans. So I'll probably throw them up right over my face just to make it safer for you, more pleasing to see. I don't, I don't know. I got to learn how to do it. It's just the computer I have is so old. It's so old. It can't do this stuff. It can't run any good editing software. Even the free ones, they can't run them. I'm so far down on the free tier list. It's something that's really, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I don't know bad from good. That's the thing. I don't even know if it sucks. But I can't see it. The laptop's too small. Even at full screen, I can't see everything to figure out what's even going on. And I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn, but I really don't have a clue what I'm doing. And then the pain in my hands that just needs physical therapy gets so bad to the point I have to stop anyway. I just can't keep doing it. But I'm sure all I need is physical therapy and the stabbing pains in my hips that never goes away. And when they get bad enough to drop me to my knees when I'm just standing there talking to somebody, I'm sure that's just physical therapy too. Yeah, I don't want fame. I don't even want fortune. You know, even as a kid, yeah, sure, probably wanted a Lamborghini because every kid wants a Lamborghini. But you know what? I'm 49 now. I've had to sell off everything I own, every possession that I did care about, gone. So my attachment to things has changed in my older age, and the things I've had to give up. My importance on objects has never been lower. I want a newer laptop, not even new. I want just a capable laptop that I can game on and do video stuff on. Initially, I just wanted it so I could game because that's all I got time. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. But if I'm doing this, something bigger to work on that can actually edit videos in a time that's reasonable, that would be cool. But that means I have to have an income first. I don't have that. And I'm waiting around to find out if I can even get fixed enough to where I could have just a boring job. I got a number in my head. I know how much a year I have to make to just live like a retiree, just comfortable enough that I know everything's okay. Not FU money, not go out and buy Lamborghinis, just have a safe, comfortable, unassuming life for the most part. I want it to be boring as far as stability. As I want it just a modest house, a modest car. I mean, I want my Nissan just to run. It can stay ugly. It's a tough little truck. I love these things. They're awesome. They're not the best either. Dude, don't no. I like Nissans. I like the Pathfinder. I like the old 90s 2000 Pathfinders. They're not good trucks, but I like them. That's a whole nother topic that we could talk about. I don't know what to do with this place or channel. Um, I'm still going to be doing stuff no matter if anybody watches or not. If someone watches and wants to take a crack at editing these videos to make them interesting, that would be cool. You would have to do it for free because I have no money. You call it practice. Well, I am the blue collar NPC. Who I am doesn't matter. What my name is doesn't matter. You can call me whatever. Tom. Tom is a good name for today. So, yeah, if you go back and watch this, think of Tom. I don't know. I don't know. Thanks for your time.